Hey everyone, and welcome back to the ATD Movie channel on YouTube. I'm Tony, and today we'll be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Let's jump right into it. Back in 2014, James Gunn wrote and directed the original Guardians of the Galaxy, and it blew everybody away. It was Marvel's first time showcasing the lesser-known squad. The special effects and the spectacle around them really took a backseat to the story and character development. By the end of the film, I was a huge fan of this group that I had never heard of before the film was announced. And honestly, I've been looking forward to the sequel for a long time. Let me tell you what I liked about the movie. The characters are what had me hooked on a feeling, and it's no different in this film. I love these characters. Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana are damn near perfect as Peter Quill and Gamora. Their unspoken feelings for each other are authentic and real, and I really believe that these two loved each other without saying it. The rest of the Guardians are just as good too. Dave Bautista returns as Drax. Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel lend their vocal cords to the characters of Rocket and Groot. Can we just take a second and bask in Dave Bautista's glory? I mean, really, this guy is fantastic. He's so funny in the movie and easily gets the most laughs. Bradley Cooper's Rocket Raccoon is not as much of a focal point in this film as he was in the previous, but he's still really good. And while the Guardians get most of the screen time, there's some magnificent supporting actors and actresses that help flesh out the story. Michael Rooker, Karen Gillan, Palm, I'm not even going to try the last name, Sylvester Stallone, and the great Kurt Russell all brought something new and exciting to the franchise. And this should come as no spoiler considering it's showcased throughout the trailer, but Kurt Russell plays Chris Pratt's father, Ego. Along with the cast and the characters, I have to highlight the special effects in this film. I've been pretty critical of some of the big budget films this year, and they're not so great special effects. And that's certainly not the case here. Marvel obviously spared no expense bringing the cosmos to life. I really loved the color palette, the costumes, the sets, everything was larger than life. The entire production design team should be commended for a job well done. As much as I enjoyed the characters and the spectacle of it all, I don't think this movie's anywhere near as good as the first, and let me explain why. The story in this film felt like it was one act of a much bigger story. There's a lot of dialogue, and there's a lot of things that are stretched out paper thin in an attempt to fill time. And at 2 hours and 18 minutes, I couldn't help leaving the theater feeling that the movie was a little bit bloated, with some silly exposition and a number of scenes that I would have cut out. Directly related to the story and the runtime is the pacing. The pacing in this film is really uneven. I'd like to consider myself a model theater guest, but there were a couple times during the film where I was withdrawn and I just wanted to play with my phone. And like I mentioned earlier, there's so much dialogue. I realize some of it's necessary to push the story along, but come on, some of it was stretched way too thin in my opinion. Remember how much I told you I love the characters? Well, there's other supporting characters that became an integral part of the team during the film, and I'm not sure that that was the best decision. We've gotten used to watching heroes join and then subsequently leave the Avengers, but I always felt like this was different. The entire Guardians of the Galaxy film showed us how the team was formed and how they came together. In my opinion, it's way too soon to see other characters become an important part of the team. And there's also a few character turns that you could easily see a mile away and just had you rolling your eyes about the convenience of it all. That's really all I can say without spoiling the film here. There's one aspect of the first film I didn't even realize that I loved so much until I left the sequel, and that's traveling throughout the galaxy. The first movie was the equivalent of a globe-trotting Bond film. James Gunn and company took us all over the galaxy on an amazing adventure. The sequel takes place in really just one location, and while it's pretty to look at, sticking to one location for that long makes the overall story feel that much less exciting. Look, I want to be clear, I liked the movie. It's a good movie. It was a ton of fun, it was hilarious, the visuals are stunning, and the characters are some of my favorite in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But it's natural to compare a sequel to its predecessor, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. It's a good film, but it's just not as good as the first one. So, have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? What did you think of it, honestly? Is it as good as the first film in your opinion? Let me know in the comments below, like the video, and look for me on Twitter at ATDMovie. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be notified of content uploaded regularly. And you can find other recent reviews on the channel as well. That's all for now, folks. Thanks for watching.